This is Pop Culture Confidential, and I'm Christina Yerling Birro. It's Monday morning, post Critics' Choice Awards. Ryan and I are sitting around the kitchen table at the Airbnb. It was a great night, and we're just going to do a little emergency quick pod here to tell you all about it because it was really great. Both of us are, of course, voting members in Critics' Choice, so that's been good to know going forward. So it's been so fun to follow everything going along and then to be at the big show. But Ryan, tell me a little bit about what led us up here this weekend and thoughts.
Well, this is not my first rodeo. This is your first rodeo.
It's my first one.
And this was a long time coming. I think a lot of people, 2025 was like a rough year. We talked about like all the losses we had, but it really started off with a massive delay.
Well, I was supposed to be at the show last year.
We were both supposed to be there, and because of the fires in LA, we just weren't able to do any of that. And so this has honestly been a year coming. So we've been super excited about it, and the whole weekend kind of built up to it. And I don't think it disappointed for either one of us. I think it was a pretty
Now, we've done a few things together this year, too, because we've been at several festivals, so we've seen lots of movies. We started this weekend by going to see Catch Me If You Can at American Cinematheque, which was a great start of the weekend.
If any listeners out there have gone back and know when Christina and I first started doing a lot of our shows together, we did a Spielberg episode and particularly talked about this film specifically and how important it is to the overall, trajectory of Spielberg's career. To see that in 35 millimeter in LA, projection on a big screen, absolutely fantastic. Crackles and all.
Loved it.
And then we ate so well this weekend. We
had movie themed restaurants with
we
the
AwardsWatch
group. Yeah.
And then was it me? It was you that had the good. Was it me or you that had the good? It was both of us. Mm-hmm. We had the good idea to let's go to Musso and Frank's, and they sat us at the counter, and we had a meal of the ages.
Oh,
it's never a bad meal there, and we had a little cocktail with our meal. And if you ever go to Musso and Frank's, tip. The apple pie is an actual pie.
Ryan got one apple pie for himself. Literally,
I got it for.
Yeah, it's like for
mostly
taste.
for us. Yeah. I ordered it.
But this could have been for a birthday party.
Yeah, this could have been like for 20 people. It felt like it was huge, and I just thought it was a slice. You go to places, and it wasn't a slice. It was a whole pie. So Christina, and we were also with associate editor Sophia Simonello over at AwardsWatch. So they kindly helped me with this because otherwise it would have been a sugar coma.
I had no problem helping.
Yeah, it was too good not to. And then our days started. We were lucky enough to be invited by Focus Features to a pre-celebration event at near the Barker Hangar where CCA was at this restaurant, and we were able to meet most of the people from Hamnet.
Little Jacoby Juke. Oh. What a rock star. 12 years old, fabulous pearl shirt, great pants, such a smart kid going on to he's going to do The Exorcist now.
He's going to play the devil.
Incredible performance. He basically goes from playing an angel to a devil.
Yes, that's what his mom was telling us.
Yeah.
And she's like, what a 180. But it was great to kind of, I honestly have a full circle moment because we started Telluride with this huge movie and seeing Paul Mescal and Chloe Zhao and this whole crew, and so that was where we were able to go there, and then we all got to CCA, and
it's been a little bit rainy, but there was almost bright and jet when we got
there. Yeah, there wasn't any precipitation when we got there, which was perfect because and it was cooler, but it wasn't freezing. Not that, Christina was like, it's cold. And I'm like, this is not bad. I was like, where you live, right? But we got in there and immediately, like, I ran into a good friend that I've run into now this season. I had the real fortune of interviewing him, was Clint Bentley for Train Dreams.
Such a great
Like
director.
literally right when I walked into and so they kind of put us in like a cattle holding area until like an hour and a half before the show starts.
That's
And
a tight squeeze.
it's a tight squeeze.
With critics.
But if you see your gap, go to the bar or go get a food. You know what I mean? Because it's like you and I both got to meet Renato Reinsve for Sentimental Value. The whole crew had come, and that was the other thing, is that most of these people were in Palm Springs, which is about less than 2 hours away. The night before for this big celebration in Palm Springs. They came all the way back either that night or the morning, or some people flew in, like what was it, Lucas Jal, who was saying, the cinematographer for Hamnet was saying he flew in that morning. So.
And also, they'll be here for another week because next Sunday is already Golden Globes. So
when I talked to Renata Reinsve, she said she will be here all week. Mm-hmm. They're going to be doing little things, but she is like, everyone's still exhausted. Like no one got to really have a break during Christmas.
Started. I mean, the televised things just started.
It was very funny. Like the theme of the weekend was, I need a nap.
Yeah.
Like talking with Paul Mescal, talking with Renata Reinsve, talking with Clint Bentley, and talking with the people for all these films. Tired was the thing, but grateful. Tired but grateful, and so that's the entirety of the process for
We're going to get into the winners and a little bit about the ceremony itself. I just want to mention this is of course television as well, so the whole Adolescence crew was there, which was great. The Pit, front row and center table for the Pit. That was really the big one for the night.
Yep.
And then, of course, you had Timmy and Kylie coming in for Marty Supreme. This was the first
showing
time,
up late, by the way.
Yeah, apparently it's now Acceptance Award official that they're together because he thanked Kylie, and that was a huge thing.
Cool. Like good for them. Like,
and of course, Paul Thomas Anderson, that incredible crew. But let's get into
and Leo.
Leo, yes.
Leo was able to make it.
Yeah, because the night before he hadn't been able to make it to Palm Springs, where he was accepting this big award because he was stuck in St. Bart's because of Venezuela and Trump, and had to do it via Zoom, and so he did from the yacht.
Yeah.
And
from Jeff Bezos' yacht or someone's yacht with Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Christina
which was a big joke.
Yeah, well, Christina was telling me all weekend long how much she was like, "Come on, Jeff, you can get him to CCA." She's a big Bezos fan.
Oh gosh, I was actually pissed at the whole thing.
She was. I'm totally kidding, listeners. Christina Birro is not a supporter of Jeff Bezos, but she was like getting mad at Leo. Yeah, but I don't know what that situation is. It also seems like maybe their girlfriends know each other too, from what I've read. So there seems to be a lot there. They have, but also. The powerful hang out with the even more powerful. Yeah, it's Oprah hangs out with David Zaslav. So I don't know what to tell you. And Bezos. So it's like they have similar problems. But anyway.
But there was actually jokes about it on stage. And
he took it like
he laughed a lot.
He is not fragile like other people. He'll take it. He knows how to take a good joke.
So let's do the film awards.
Okay.
Thoughts. What was the first one of the evening?
Well, the first one in the evening, I would there were all the below the line awards, which were really shown up on a PowerPoint presentation.
This is disappointment.
Well, this is something that they've done. This is because they've blended the TV and the film, which then they don't have to have two separate shows. It's economical, but it's also it feels very elementary. I mean, like they're kind of just going, we're going to do the limited series categories, and then the comedy categories, and then the drama category, and then we get to film, and it's very matter of fact like that. But the first we saw Frankenstein do extremely well. They won production design, they won makeup, they won costume design, which is what we expect kind of as of right now to happen at the Oscars. Yeah. There was a couple of upsets. Train Dreams winning cinematography was a bit of a surprise because it seemed like Sinners has been the overwhelming critical favorite. I mean, Train Dreams and One Battle have won a handful of prizes, but this one felt because Sinners was so out front. It had 17 nominations. That this would be the one they could also get. Train Dreams.
Veloso's, I mean, it's amazing, the cinematography in Train Dreams.
Adolfo's cinematography, absolutely incredible. Got to talk with him when I was talking with Clint Bentley. Got to meet him. Genuinely some of the most beautiful work that you're going to see. And I had the great fortune this year of sitting at one of the One Battle After Another tables. I was with Andy Jurgensen, the editor, and Michael Bauman, the cinematographer, the sound team, the stunt coordinator, all the below the line craftsmen that were there, and they were the best table. I've heard about the sentimental value table. Our friend Sophia sat there with your wonderful Swedes and just had, it seemed like a ridiculously silly night. It sounded like, based off what Josh Horowitz said and what Sophia and Mark Johnson at AwardsWatch reported, Renata was imitating the fact that she was going to flip a table over every time they lost because they lost all 7 of their awards. They were drinking and
such a great
fun
gang.
Alexander came over with Stellan and they were both joking with each other, calling each other losers. I think that's what you told me, or somebody had told me that.
Well, yeah, they've been doing that through awards season.
Yeah, but this is super funny.
Yeah,
like
so
if you watched online, I think it was Deadline was interviewing Stellan, and all of a sudden Alexander pops from behind, and is standing there the entire time. And it's such a funny interview. These two have been, I mean, the best father-son duo I've ever seen on the awards circuit. But my team with the One Battle did not disappoint. Michael Bauman lost that award early on and was like, "Oh, Adolfo, that's great." And then someone told him, "Oh, yeah, that means you lost." He goes, "Well, I guess I got to take a shot." And so they had these bottles of tequila. There was a sponsor there. And so we all took shots of tequila. Whoever had it, we all poured it terribly. It was all over our hands and stuff. So I don't think any
More
of us.
out than in.
Well, it was great because then it's like, okay, no one's going to get COVID if they shake hands because we've sanitized ourselves. But then editing went to F1. So Andy
several F1 prizes.
That and sound.
Yeah.
And so when they lost that, we took another shot. When Benicio del Toro, which I think is the first big award that happened in supporting actor, we kind of figured that it would be Benicio. I'm on record that I voted for Benicio del Toro. I believe you voted for Benicio del Toro, and it went to Jacob Elordi.
It did.
Which
even he seemed surprised, but wonderfully happy.
I seemed surprised. It was a surprise in the moment, but we all have a night to sleep. We take a step back. It's actually not too surprising with this group.
No.
When I was at TIFF, I never got to tell you this, but when I was at TIFF, the number one thing of why people loved Frankenstein so much was Jacob Elordi, and it's also in part with, if you believe in the logic that movie is winning makeup, which it's pretty much like a Michael Jordan slam dunk gonna win.
Yeah.
Now that Weapons is not there.
Yeah, I was disappointed.
I was disappointed that the critics group didn't do that as well. Then he's going to get nominated. Then there tends to be the rule of thought, well, that usually correlates, follows an acting win. I don't know if we're there just yet. I'm going to need to see the Globes. I'm going to need to see him get in SAG, win some more. I don't think he's going to be a sweeper. This category seems
let's mention that the Globes will not be impacted by Critics' Choice because their voting was already done when we began.
Which is wonderful.
Yeah, that's great.
Because now
we can spread them out.
We can spread it out and see what happens, or we can see the similarities. But Elordi's speech was very nice. He seemed, very nervous.
We like the handlebar mustache.
We liked him like he was going out to the prairie, and gonna get on a horse, whatever horse that is. Good luck to that horse. That's a tall man on a horse. It's like his feet would touch the ground and it would be like, like brakes,
It's just dragging him.
But it was short, it was sweet, it was to the point. And then the next film award, I believe, was supporting actress, and it was Amy Madigan.
Love that. We're so happy about that. I just want her to just run all the way to the Oscars. I mean, Aunt Gladys, and you and I have been saying this for the longest time, that it feels like it's Amy Madigan's to lose.
It really does feel like that right now. I still think that Tiana Taylor poses a threat because of the power of one battle after another, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But there's no denying that, like she says, we really love Aunt Gladys. People really love Aunt Gladys, and she's been super surprised by it.
She held a great speech. She and Ethan Hawke had like almost matching clothes. Embroidered
it was
blazers.
Cool. I was just like, you guys should do like a one-act play or something right now in these outfits. Like they look great.
Song sung blue.
She was wonderful. I got to meet her on the way out. She was just so complimentary, and we talked a bit about just not even seeing it at first, just this rewatching the film with people that hadn't seen it. And she's just like, those are the best. That's the best experience, because then they have no idea what fucking shit's coming. And so she's having the time of her life. It's also, she's so grateful, actresses of her age. We talk about this all the time. They don't get these sort of life changing.
What is she? She's 75.
She's 75. Yeah. She's also married to Ed Harris. So there's a little bit of like, it feels like a little Paul and Joanne, where it's like, everybody knows him, but we kind of forget about this.
How good she is.
And then it's like, she just made a performance that in that household is the most relevant anyone's been in about 20 years. And so, but she was great. It was fun. She talked about like how someone has told her that Gladys was a sex symbol. And she's like, I didn't read into that, but she was very just humble and grateful. And so there was that.
I want to mention a few of the ones I would have liked to see live in the room, but we have Best Score went to Ludwig Göransson for Sinners, and the 2 Screenplay Awards, Ryan Coogler, Sinners, also there, and Best Adapted went to, very happily, Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another.
Yes. I mean, that would have been pretty big. Also, I just want to mention too that technically the first film award of the night, we jumped the gun. It went the Young Actor and Actress Performance.
Oh yes.
Which is a CCA pretty much like only thing that they do. Went to Miles Caton for Sinners. And he's wonderful. I interviewed him earlier this year. He was fantastic, or early in the season in 2025. He is fantastic. Poor little Jacoby Jupe, and some of the other younger kids were having to be consoled, and it was so sad. Kind of makes you think, like, why do you have this award? It seems like torture. And also his brother had won that before, so I think there was a little bit of like, hopefully he could have the, I feel like he was probably really close. But it was very nice to see that. I mean, to be fair, all of them are lucky that Chase Infinity is 25 years old. Because I think because there's a 21-year-old gap, like, cutoff gap. And I think Miles Caton was just 21. So like he could have... If we were doing this next year, wouldn't have been able to make it.
But well deserved.
Well deserved. Amazing. And then the ensemble casting director. New casting.
So this is
I wanted to ask you about this. Like, I mean, this is a first time thing. This is our first taste into the casting
new casting award that'll be at the Oscars as well. So this is kind of the first one out.
But this one is different than pretty much anything we're going to see until then, because
this is ensemble as well.
Because they put the ensemble in there with it. Which I think is, I'm on the record, I don't think it's a good idea.
No,
I think that they should be 2 different awards, because, you're basically then making it more of about the ensemble rather than about the other. So
about the casting, in itself. Yeah, no, I agree. And this one went to, we were a bit surprised that it didn't go to Nina Gold, which...
I wasn't surprised that it didn't go to Nina Gold. I think Eric and you and Sophia were... I knew this was either One Battle After Another or Sinners, and I kind of had a feeling...
And this was Sinners, of course.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like it was going to be Sinners. To me, I've been on the record that of the major players, One Battle After Another is more of a significant casting achievement. It's not about the main ensemble. How about all the people in all the locations in California and Texas, the kids, right? The Christmas adventurers, the military people, like the various Latino actors that he had to find. These are a lot of real local people that PTA had to find. It's very easy to cast Michael B. Jordan twice. It's not easy to find some of these people.
And I also think Marty Supreme is really
yes, that is an intricate.
Can you find more incredible people to cast around New York?
Random people.
Yeah, random people, but also like celebrities in the New York sort of intellectual
and I've said it
environment.
too, but Weapons is also like, I know that shortlisted wasn't nominated last night, but that whole turnaround, they're a little bit more impressive than, we found one person, we found Miles, so then we can put this in here. Like it felt very much like that, but it also just felt like a place to reward Sinners something. I agree with you about the screenplay awards. I think it's ridiculous. That would have been the only time we could see Ryan Coogler up on the stage.
We could see that. I thought
Which
that was a disappointment.
Is very interesting because that's a very tight race that he's in right now with Joachim Trier and
Eskil Voigt, yeah.
Yeah, Eskil Voigt for Cinema Novae. They're really going back and forth with a lot of the critics groups. Coogler's out front. He hasn't made a speech on a television, and how many is he going to get? Opportunities is he going to get to do that? We'll see. But then main prizes.
Yeah. So next out after we get to director.
Well, okay. So at this point of the night, One Battle After Another had won nothing. And I'm sitting, and then the screenplay award happens, and I went, "Thank fucking God!" You know what I mean? Because I not want to sit there and have to defend the fact that I've been in this front runner status for such a long time and saying this thing's going to win, and then this organization shows up and it doesn't do it. Now, I will say, a lot of the voting members I talked to, it started to feel like there was a switch going to happen between Anderson and Coogler. But I just had to remember, like, this group does tend to like to look a little on Gold Derby and prediction sites. They do also, there is this thing of like, if we know what's going to happen and we have to vote for this guy because, one, how many years have we ever awarded him? They've never awarded him anything. And then if we're the only ones that we didn't get a speech. There's a whole like mental psychological thing that I think is at play. Also, there's just a lot of people that think he should win. Like myself and like you
myself.
and Eric.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We all voted in different ways in other categories, but that was the one that united all of us. And so
this was great.
It was the first time seeing PTA do a live telecast.
And he seemed so humbled and happy, and
he seemed very appreciative. He shouted out Ryan Coogler, like he said, like seeing him there.
What? When I was saying, I thought he was shouting out you. That was my.
Oh, like he was like, I see Ryan McQuade. Well,
because they said, I see Ryan, and then, I realized in 30 seconds,
he was talking.
Really
well,
big.
he was talking about.
But at one point, I was like, whoa, and then.
If you want the story, I'll tell you the story here. I did meet Paul Thomas Anderson, a lifelong dream. Nobody out there in the world's going to be able to say that Tiana Taylor was the one that introduced me to Paul Thomas Anderson. That's a crazy thing within itself. Chase Infinity telling me that one of the best interviews she's had this year is with myself. That crew knows how much I love it. Warner Brothers knows how much I love it.
The biggest supporter.
And now Paul knows, and we talked briefly between a commercial break about Altman, our parents taking us to the movies. And then he gave me some words of wisdom, which I will not say on this podcast, but it then made me go back to my seat. And I'm like, I need a drink because this man, like, once again shattered me in pieces. And to see him up on the stage, to be with his compadres and just be there celebrating him. So then the shots from losing, because they all were taking shots when they were losing, turned to shots for him winning.
Yeah, so nonstop shots.
So but it was just great to see him up there.
Yeah, and I got the chance to meet Benicio from the crew and talk a bit with all of them, and I mean it's just amazing.
No,
just amazing.
and Michael Bauman said something that I think, if any voter out there this is the most humble group of guys you're ever going to meet. He said, I could lose 100 awards as long as that man wins one. It was like they are a family.
It's his time.
They are a family. It's his time. They love it. They're rooting for it. It was so cool. It was such a great moment to see him up there. He was nervous. I think the speeches will get better. I know you wanted him to thank Maya. Maya was not there.
No.
So to be fair,
Still.
But I think he was very humble and just thanked the cast and said that I wouldn't be here without them.
And that this was his best. I don't remember if it was the first or second speech, but he did say that this was his best
favorite
experience he's ever had filming.
Exactly.
And
I think it was in the other one. Yeah.
So after that, we get to the actors. Best actress and actor. Best actress.
I want to do actor first. Can we just do that one? Because I want to talk about actress separately. Because I think that's. I want to get through this one. So obviously Leo made it. Joel Edgerton, Ethan Hawke, Michael B. Jordan, Timothy Chalamet, Wagner Moura. Timmy won. Pretty unmoved by that speech.
Looking straight at Leonardo DiCaprio and feeling, it almost felt like he was like, oh my God, shit.
I felt like that was a moment like, in Kill Bill.
Yeah,
And he was, I think he saw Leo and man, did he lock up. Like Mr. Confidence and Mr. I'm looking for greatness.
Did not sound at all like that in this speech.
No, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I think he knows he can't get away with that stuff in a room with Leonardo DiCaprio.
No.
That's his hero. That's who he's compared to. And I think he also is intimidated and fears him a little bit.
It almost felt like, I have to say, looking.
It's like hands under your seat. You know what I mean? Because last year, when he made speeches, he didn't give a shit. Like, he was just like, and then couldn't help himself. That's the other thing. He couldn't help himself in this speech, talking about where they sat him and put him on this
in a weird corner,
and they were putting him in the incline and weird. It was and he was just like, "What the fuck's that?" When he threw an F-bomb on the telecast. Not saying that you can't throw F-bombs on the telecast. We're going to start hearing that at the Oscars soon. So everyone's award season virgin ears need to
the YouTube Oscars is going to be.
It's going to be something, but it just it felt manic. It felt like he might need a piece of paper. I don't know how much of this is going to continue just yet, because I think the Globes can go. I think the Globes can go in a different way. I think he's very popular amongst critics. I think it's one of those and
he does a great performance.
It's a great performance.
So
we're not going to get a bad Best Actor winner this year.
The Best Actor.
It's really a strong category.
It's so strong.
I was talking with Sophia the other night. Christina went to bed, and rightfully so. She's tired, but she works hard, folks. She deserves to sleep. I was telling her, I said, I don't think that there's a really, a legitimate front runner for any of these categories in the acting categories that I would sit there and go, man, that's a bad performance. I have preferences. Who doesn't have preferences? But there's no one where I'm going to scream from the mountaintop. What are we doing here?
No, that really feels like a loss. Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes. And he shouted out Kylie.
Which was the first time in an acceptance speech, so that became headline news.
And that's the first time she's been in a room with him where he's won an award that wasn't already pre-given out. So I'm sure Club Chalamet's actively tweeting about that right now. But we'll see. It's a long season. I don't know how much of that movie is loved internationally. I don't know. I don't believe he'll win SAG back-to-back years. That would be nuts. I don't think anyone's ever done that. So we'll see.
We'll see.
It
was an
a long road.
interesting.
It was a long road. It was interesting. In the room, in the back, you could kind of feel like when he was making that jab at the tables and stuff, people were kind of like, yeah, it was not played for laughs. And so I want people to think like, because people go online, we know these people. People go online and they stroke Timothée Chalamet's ego. They think that, yeah, bro, you're the this and that, and white boy of the year and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, but I was in the room. Y'all weren't. Christina was in the room. Y'all weren't. And that
you could feel it.
You could feel like they were like, ugh. Like that's so. And also he mentioned like Joel Edgerton's name twice. Michael B. Jordan twice. He didn't know what he was doing up there.
Yeah.
It was a disaster. It was Adrian Brody-esque level of like just awkwardness. It was awkward.
Yeah.
But it was a great win nonetheless. But still, I was just kind of like, ugh. And I was sitting around people, and there's just one final thing about this. The minute he started shouting out Kylie, I'll never forget this. There were these people at one of the television tables that was right next to us, and whoever was there, like just straight up, when they put her face up on the screen in his speech, which was on the telecast, a collection of just everybody at one table, and then I looked to the right, the same other table, all rolled their eyes. Because the Kardashians are not liked. The Kardashian-Jenner clan are not liked. And I think, and so he's like, "You're my partner of 3 years, and I love you." And it's just a very tender moment. And then
That was
everybody,
sweet, though.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's the things you don't see on a telecast that you see in a room where you're seeing like this sweet moment on the telecast for everybody at home, and for us in the room, people were like rolling their eyes at her. It was so mean, but it was like it was.
But for some, maybe
very
there's
funny.
some speculation. Then that's sort of part of the campaign trail.
Yeah.
These shout outs, but we'll see. Let's go back to Jessie.
Okay.
So when Jessie Buckley was announced by Oz himself, Jeff Goldblum, their table exploded, the Hamlet table, and Paul was so happy. Paul Mescal, it was so sweet. It really felt like, and they were overjoyed. And her speech was good, didn't you think?
I thought her speech was wonderful. I'm just beyond good.
Yeah.
I just thought it was wonderful. It was the type of speech that's like, okay, well, we don't need to have a conversation about this category anymore.
Because, I mean, there is a tight category as well with Rose Byrne, who's really been linked with Renate. I mean, these are incredible performances that she's
Rose,
up against.
Renata, and Amanda Seyfried was nominated. Chase Infinity. Yeah. And she just kind of shut everybody up. Like Hamlet, we've said since we saw it, this is the Best Actress winner. And yes, the critics groups have done a great job of getting Rose Byrne the recognition she deserves. And she will be most likely she will be the person that will be the solo nominee for her film that gets into the actress race. I don't think that we're going to get two of those. So I feel like it's Jessie, Chase, Renata, Rose, and then pick your poison for number 5. I think it's probably Emma Stone. Some people think it's Cynthia Erivo. Some people think it's Jen Lawrence. Some people think it's this person. I don't know. Roll a dice, figure it out. Who wants to take the last spot? Who wants to show up in a beautiful gown at the Oscars? Because it really won't matter. It really will not matter because
Jessie's locked up.
And that Hamlet table was going home empty-handed at that point too. So there's there was a lot of just. Yeah, it was just
the energy was great.
Yeah, and Paul, Eric was at the table, and I went over to him after she won. Paul was just elated, over the moon. Jacoby Jupe was ran up to her the minute she won. Chloe Zhao was very emotional. They know that they're going to put all their love into her, and damn it, she deserves it. Hopefully, the bride's not a Norbit situation.
Right, that.
But I think she'll be
Gyllenhaal's
fine.
the bride. No, I think it'll be fine.
I think it'll be fine.
Okay, let's conclude with the big winner of the night.
And my last shot of the night.
Your last shot of the night.
We did take one last shot after this thing won.
We
rightfully
were elated.
so.
Of course, One Battle After Another got Best Picture, which felt like a
felt
done deal, but wonderful.
Felt in the room like it was, people were so happy
Yeah, it was huge applause.
Tiana Taylor pushing and celebrating for PTA. She's been, you think I've been a big supporter? She's worked with the band, and she and the rest of the cast were there. That, the group of craftsmen, they were there. Paul went up there and I think knocked it out of the park, talking about his producers. Adam Sumner, the late Adam Sumner, his longtime producing partner, who was really the emphasis of pushing him to finally make this movie, passed away. And he got emotional, and he basically just was like, can anybody else come up and talk right now? Because anytime he talks about Adam Sumner, it's kind of game over for him. And it just was, you could see everybody, when he won director, by the way, stand up. It was one of the few standing ovations on the night that most of the people in the room, like I saw Timothée Chalamet and Safdie, I saw Adam Sandler, I saw the people, the television people in the back, everybody in those first couple rows, all the Wicked people that had to sit in the front and lose all night, which was wonderful.
Wicked was left.
That's fine with
there.
me. That's fine with me. You can just sit there, eat your charcuterie board, and watch some great films win.
Like the rest of us.
Yeah, like the rest of us. It's nice that Ariana Grande basically had the same amount of wins on the night as me. So, but the film it's undeniable. Like we're gonna go to the Globes next week.
This is just the start.
This is the start of the train. It's going to win there. It's going to do really well on the long list for BAFTA. It's going to do well at SAG. It might lose SAG Ensemble because of Sinners. But Conclave won last year and it didn't matter. I think the PGA, lock it in. DJ, lock it in. WGA, lock it in. BAFTAs. Yeah, I think you can start locking in BAFTAs too. This thing it's great to have a great film, a generational film. We were talking about because it won the National Film Society. It's won the trifecta for the quadfecta.
Four, yeah.
It's one of the four major top
critic
prestigious
groups. Yeah.
There's only 3 other films that have ever done that. One of them is Schindler's List, L.A. Confidential,
Social Network,
and The Social Network, and now it is 4. One of those was an all-time win, and was a win that was, it's his time. The other 2 are egregious. Why didn't, I understand that Titanic won, but a lot of people really think L.A. Confidential should have won over Titanic. And Social Network
that's the snub of the century.
It's the snub of the century. Sean Fennessy and Amanda Dobbins talked about it recently. They gave it their number 1 film of the last 25 years so far. It's pretty undeniable at that point. So, I don't see a movie though that's going to King's Speech it, because in those 2 times, one of them was Big Jim in his coronation as to why L.A. Confidential didn't win. The other is a terrible human being in Harvey Weinstein pulling the strings against the Social Network. So campaigning doesn't work like that anymore. And people in that room generally want this man to win. It's not a bad secret. It's an open secret. And people love that movie. And the number 1 people that people were flocking to the table to see was Benicio, and to see Tiana, and see Chase, who looked so gorgeous in that yellow, and to see Mr. St. Bart's and Leo, and to hang out, and to meet Paul and to be around him. And they were very quiet. They were very humble. They came in as the show started, but they walked away the same way they came in, the front runners and the winners of the night.
Yeah, that was a great ending. Well, Ryan, should we wrap it up? Because we're heading to the airport.
Yeah, we got to go to the airport here in 30 minutes. Can I say the TV was kind of boring?
Yeah, I'm very happy for Adolescence, and
the
I
pit,
think Pit is great, but
and the studio. But it's just like, God damn it.
But it's also felt like we've seen them on so many awards. I mean,
well, it's also, well, it was just rinse and repeat for the Emmys.
Exactly.
It also felt uninspired. And you just also watch that. You and I watched a lot of these shows. And some of the newer shows of the season are bleeding in with some of the older ones from last year. So when you watch like Task, for me it was like Andor, Task, Severance. Those were like great seasons of television. And then you just see like the Pit keep winning it, and it's just like
And Pluribus is
and
just
Pluribus too, which is like Maria Seahorn finally winning something.
Yeah.
My God,
she
that
was
woman.
amazing. She looked fantastic. She sounded.
You could even see Kerry Russell go like, "Finally,
Yeah.
thank God!" You know, like what the fuck she got to do to win something. And very supportive there. But it was, you know, watching it. It was like the adolescents people. It's like, I think this is the last time. I don't think we have to do globes for them. I think we did that last year.
Although I think they're so deserved for everything.
They're so deserving, but
It's
I want to see
incredible.
other win. I want to see other people win, and for the Pit, I like to see other people win too. Severance got completely shut out.
Yeah, they didn't get
Which is like a show that did really well at the Emmys. I thought it could have won one or two more, but to get shut out sucks. You watch like The Studio, who Seth Rogen is notoriously
hates critics.
hates critics. He's a fucking asshole when it comes to
and you
critics.
could tell that he was a bit uncomfortable thanking.
Yeah. So, yeah, I you know, for me, it was just like those were, and we all kind of were just like at our table, like the film stuff was the most interesting thing on the night, and so
The Critics' Choice used to split the two, have two different nights
They
for
did.
film and TV.
It
But
was like-
after, I think sometime post-COVID.
yeah, just economically it makes sense to do them all together, and kind of like the Globes, but they do. I think that they should do more of the film ones and get. I mean, not that make it longer, but they need to be more selective. Like, no offense to Kill Out Demon Hunters winning animated and song, but I want to see the screenplay wins more than I
Yeah,
want to see
that
that.
I think was an egregious thing. I really think we should see several of the categories not on the PowerPoint presentation
Well,
deal. I mean,
The Secret Agent won Best International
how can
Feature.
you not have
They-
Best International
They
Feature
gave him the fucking award on
the carpet?
and then he goes up there at the end to introduce picture.
Yeah, he's introducing
With Wagner.
with Wagner,
And-
Kleber Mendoza Filo, and has to thank them before he gives out Best
I
Picture.
read the teleprompter. They were like, you know, vent for 30 seconds because they were running because it does run effectively.
It does.
To the
It
point
does,
where
and that's
the
nice.
two times I've been there, they're like, we
It's a good show.
we need to we need to add. You know, we're running short, or you know we're not running long. Which, hey,
We appreciate
if
that.
they're able to do it in 3 hours, how is the Oscars not able to do it? And that's another story for another time, because they have more categories. I think they're showing. You know, but anyway.
But they have no musical numbers and
That's true.
tributes and-
They don't have
yeah.
all that crap. They just do the awards, get you in and out. It's a little. It could be a little boring for some, but it's also still a very
I
fun
think
night.
it's good.
And they feed us. What's those pretzels?
Yeah, pretzels were heavy.
They were.
Pretzels were more like cinnamon buns.
They were more like breadsticks. Yeah, they were crazy. And I never got. I got one, and I wanted the one with the pigs in the blanket, and I kept getting the damn ones with
the pretzels.
And I was like, I'm not going to eat all that. So we just. But it was very helpful to have at least some of that to sop up the tequila.
Yeah, I know you probably needed that.
So
Yeah. Well, we're gonna keep talking
we'll talk
the
Globes
whole
next
season
week.
and next week, and we had a good time,
We had a good time.
and we'll see you again soon.
I'll see you again.
But
soon.
first, Ryan, of course, tell everyone where they can go
Well,
read all the stuff.
you can find me
Not that they don't know
recovering.
it. Yeah.
At AwardsWatch.com, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Blue Sky at Ryan McQuade 77. We have the Director Watch series going on right now. Warren Beatty. So yeah.
Yeah, and of course I'm on popcultureconfidential.com, Christina Birro on socials. There'll be a bunch of interviews coming up the coming month or so that I'm excited to share with you. So follow us. Bye.
Bye.